Do you increasingly question why there are so many crazy people around? Does it seem as though insanity is normalized and even glorified? Today, I'm going to break down 7 sections of modern culture and explore how this is turning most psycho. Stay tuned. Modern society has become the perfect catalyst for mental illness. With the intentional demolition of traditional societies, individuals now are more selfish and lack core values and morality. But why? On the outskirts, modern societies may look like promising progression. However, when one takes a closer look at the intricate mechanisms of this modern era, it is extremely troubling. Number 1, modern culture promotes individualism, aka selfishness. And in psychology, the root of selfishness, unsurprisingly, is a lack of empathy, extending as far as the cold manipulation of the psychopath. In modern culture, this outcome is celebrated. It's been designed in such a way where many have the economist's perception of scarce resources, now being you. This increases competition between communities, friends, and even families, who now compete like businesses in a marketplace, which also didn't happen often pre-modern era. Bartering was commonplace. Goods and services were exchanged for other goods and services. There was minimal competition, and the idea of lack when it came to resources was not commonplace, as we understood that everything that we truly need in life is free. We grew our own food, we had access to sunlight, and there were strong community ties. But now, individual success is the objective for many, who will do whatever it takes to accomplish their idea of this, even if that includes destroying communities by selling drugs or not sharing an inheritance. This desire is inherently destructive, divisive, and in actuality benefits no one, not even the person who believes they have it all. This mindset often originates from trauma and fear of shattered egos, abandoned children growing into ice cold men and women whose only objective is to self serve, trampling on everyone to get to where only they want to in life, the same way no one was there for them when they really needed it. Also, living in a constant state of fear and survival breeds selfishness. Number 2, consuming junk food and drinks and being exposed to junk media. What we consume goes beyond what we eat and drink. It's what we see, hear, touch, and feel. And on a daily basis, we are constantly bombarded with violent, sexual, satanic, and immoral TV shows, films, cartoons, news broadcasts, music, and even gossiping. These shape our perceptions and influences our behavior. Before anything is created, the creator must have an agenda. For example, before you hear this podcast, me, the creator, has decided on a topic to speak on and the purpose behind sharing this, which is to hopefully ignite change, but at the very least, get people thinking. Now, much of what we are exposed to, the creator of it does not have good intentions for us. For example, if we look at a junk food joint, it's clear that they do not care about our health and only about profits. Now, if the first thing you do each morning is listen to the news reporting on war, famine, and displacement, you're more than likely to have a negative outlook of the world, affecting your day ahead and your interactions with others. You may become fearful and distrusting, further excluding yourself from the world or even your loved ones, and pass by opportunities to grow and develop as a human. And the opposite of that is death. Now, when it comes to music, I'm going to do a separate podcast on that. But in relation to the sick people in society, which I believe to be as high as 6 out of 10 people, I do believe it's more, but we'll go with that figure for now. But back to music, specifically secular music, which is a massive part of a nation's culture and has the power to bypass the physical and penetrate our souls. There has been incidents of specific music being played at nightclubs and fights breaking out and even guns being fired due to the explicit lyrical content coupled with alcohol, which is another topic in itself. But music has the power to heal and also to destroy. Modern music also glorifies trauma, self-medication with illicit drugs, sexual deviance, fornication and perversion. And when the beat hits and we accept it, then we start to accept the foul lyrics that accompanies it. And then you see certain things start manifesting in your own life. Trap music, for example, is just that, but that's for another day. Most music people listen to today also reinforces the first point of selfishness and independence. Like, look, we've got groups such as Money Over Bitches. Words and communication are fundamental tools and shapes how we see the world. Be cautious and conscious of what you listen to, eat, drink, see, people you're around. These all affect your behavior consciously and subconsciously. Number 3 is loneliness. Chronic loneliness can increase stress, disrupt sleep, increase cortisol, and in fact harm the body. Why do you think that solitary confinement is used as a punishment technique and is only used in exceptional circumstances? Now, due to the state of the world, some people choose to be lonely. It's safer that way. But long-term loneliness can contribute to having hallucinations and anxiety and paranoia. In some cases, you can be surrounded by many but still feel incredibly lonely, which brings me on to point number 4. Promiscuity. This one is really deep. I'm not going to touch on the spiritual aspects of that right now, but this point here is a major contributor to our sick society, and now in males and females, not only is this encouraged, tolerated and glorified by mass media, this causes trauma and damage as moral and personal standards fall and its costs to society become immense. From the spread of disease, shame, guilt, unwanted pregnancies, increased rapes, often linked with lies, manipulation, future faking, coercement, disrespect, a lack of emotional intelligence, relationship dissolution, objectifying, and increased costs to the state for the ramifications of promiscuity. Many individuals who engage in promiscuous acts have unhealed traumas, and instead of dealing with them, they allow their urges and perversions to rule them. And my second point, the media and music glorifies and promotes this sick and toxic behavior, with people losing more and more of themselves every day, becoming detached from themselves and thus others, ultimately affecting their mental states. Stay tuned for parts 2 and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, peace.